Hi, this is Jackie Schlegel. I'm the Executive Director of Texans for Vaccine Choice, and I'm joined.
I am Rebecca Hardy, and I am the Director of State Policy.
And we have some really fun, exciting news.
We have a name.
We have a name. We took a vote. The people have spoken.
And this is going to be called the Weekly Chat About Choice.
I like it.
It's great. Perfect.
Why didn't we come up with that?
Because our members are more intelligent than we are.
They are. You guys are on top of it. So we are very thankful about that. So we are going to be doing a weekly chat about choice. Because contrary to popular belief, we are not anti-vaxxers.
We are not anti-vaxxers. It really is about your choice to raise your family and direct your own medical care without the state intervening on that.
So we thought it was a very, very fitting name. So we're very excited about this. So thank you for all the feedback. And we're going to continue to take feedback. Let us know about what you think and what you would like to be included, and what is the best way for people to get in contact with us? Our email, Facebook, leave a comment
below, send us a PM. Those are probably the best ways.
Yeah. Okay. So this week we are talking about
the 85th legislative session. What happened? Our victories. I'm really excited about this.
Secrets in the Capitol or something.
Yes.
Maybe. So we're gonna take this probably from two totally different angles.
Yes, we are.
Got like policy geek over here. Thank God we have somebody.
I own that.
Who owns that role because that's not my thing. But I was the boots on the ground at the Capitol, and I had a lot of fun doing that, which is actually maybe a fun story because
this is a great story.
Going into session, I said, I'm not doing this.
I'm not doing this. She said, I will maybe go once or twice a week.
And that was after y'all twisted my arm.
But only because you're saying I have to.
Have to. This is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, last summer, you took me shopping. Can we tell this story?
We should tell this story.
And
I said, Jackie, we have to go shopping because you
cannot wear yoga pants.
You cannot wear your yoga pants to the Capitol. Yoga pants are not Capitol acceptable.
And I was not happy about this plan.
It was not a happy shopping trip.
But we got my first dress, which is hysterical because now, like, when we go places, people comment on my clothes. And it's really funny.
It's funny to think that just a year ago,
I didn't own a dress. But we saw that, and we took care of that. And I reluctantly walked into those doors on the first day of legislative session, really not wanting to be there and not really enjoying it, and spent a couple days and started to learn the flow.
And then very quickly we figured out that Jackie kind of loved it, and she was there nearly every day. Yeah. Every day of session she was there.
Unless something major happened, I was there, and by the end of session I was like, I don't want it to be over.
Like, we laugh, we joke, we're kind of sad session's over because it was in some sick way. It was fun and exciting.
Because there's nothing better for us as citizens to go, and like when I step foot through those doors, I mean, this is for our children, our future. We are fighting for their rights and their freedoms and their liberties, and how can you not get excited about that? I get really excited about that.
Like, I feel, I'm compelled. We're obligated as citizens to get involved at that local government level.
And so before we dive into the legislative session summary, because that's really your area, I'm very excited to hear all the different updates that you have for us. I think this comes back to something that we always talk about, is we all have a role. And we understand that not everybody is going to make this their life mission. I certainly know most people can't sacrifice the things that we have sacrificed to be there, but every single person can find a part in this movement.
Absolutely.
They can show up in their local communities at events that we have and happy hours. They can engage with their representatives. They can come to our citizen engagement days at the Capitol. So everybody has a role, and that's one of the things we really want to bring to you is asking you to find your role in this movement and really help us advance our mission. So before we do that and get to the legislative session summary, can you lay out for those who are maybe new to politics the 2-year cycle in Texas? Because this can be kind of confusing. Like, you're talking about voting and primaries, like, where are we at and where are we going?
Excellent question. Okay, so Texas legislature meets every other year for 140 days. So we ended in May, and that kind of started the primary season. So the primary campaign season is now until March of 2018. Primaries are very important, and we will be talking about that
explain to me, what is a primary?
The primary election is when you determine which Republican and which Democrat are going to show up on the general ballot in November. And that's very crucial. So in some of these races where we have a strong vaccine choice champion and there's a primary challenger, we are going to need to show up strong to come out and support the incumbent, our champion, to maintain that seat. Similarly, if there is a somebody who is not so friendly, one of our TFVC enemy, shall we say, and if they have a primary challenger, somebody who has come out already boldly and said, I'll stand with your movement, then that's an opportunity for us to get involved, to get the incumbent off that general election ballot. So there's really who actually goes to Austin in pretty much 95% of the districts in Texas. It's determined at the primary election. If the seat is currently held by a Democrat or if the seat is currently held by a Republican, more likely than not, and probably 95% of the seats across this district, a Republican or a Democrat will continue to represent that district. So it's really at the primary when we get to determine who actually gets elected to that seat.
So hopefully you're still with us at this point. That was a lot of information, but this is why we love Rebecca, because she's the information person who keeps us on target and on track with all of our policy. But let's go back to the odd number of year.
The odd number of year is when we meet for session. And the even number years are when we have the elections. We have the primary election and the general election, and we also have our state conventions.
So this is a little confusing for people moving here out of state who are used to their legislature working on a 1-year cycle.
Yes.
And we work on a 2-year cycle. So that was a lot of information, but hopefully clears up a little bit about how Texas works. And we'll keep bringing you updates. So we don't expect you to remember all of this.
I do. You better remember that.
She does. All right, so we just came off of a legislative session, and why don't we go ahead and dive into our legislative summary, because I have to tell you, we had some very big wins, and it was very successful, and I want to kind of hear about them.
Okay, well, the bottom line is we won!
I mean, again, show over, there's nothing else to discuss. We won.
Yes, the biggest thing is that we won. We had 4 amendment possibilities to be voted on the House floor, and we are 4-0 for those amendments. It was very exciting. We had House Bill 7 was a CPS overhaul bill, and Representatives Leach and Swanson proposed pro-parent amendments to that bill, and those got adopted, and House Bill 7 did ultimately go on to be signed by Governor Abbott. We also had Senate Bill 11, which was also a CPS overhaul bill. We had Representatives Oliverson and Click propose some amendments that would have disallowed vaccinations from being administered during the initial medical visit for children that are removed from the home. And also it would have more kind of prioritized who got seen first. It was two very strong amendments, and those 2 amendments were adopted as well, and Senate Bill 11 was signed by the governor. We also had 2 very exciting amendment debates on House Bill 39. One regarding a amendment by Representative Sarah Davis. I know, look at that face. That would have been where any child that's removed from the home would have gotten an HPV vaccination. Just because they were removed, they needed a HPV vaccine. They would have been administered this vaccine. And it was very exciting that when the vote was taken to adopt this amendment, that it was struck down. So we got some very good data on where all the representatives are on such a crucial issue, such as an HPV vaccine. And then there was another amendment on that bill by Representative Zedler that did pass. House Bill 39 did stall out in the Senate, but we got it was a victory by far for us. It was really exciting.
So as you're talking, which I'm so thankful you can remember all of this, because to me, I'm just like, we won. What more do you need to know, right? We won. But as we are going through all these different bills, I'm actually thinking about the moments that we had this session, but really looking back to our first session. Mm-hmm. And I remember when the bill we were against had gotten to the House floor, and there is this picture of us joining hands and locking arms. Yeah, we were really sitting in there thinking and praying and just hoping that we could make progress here. And to be in up there this go around, this legislative session, still uncertain, but so much. It was I know both of us felt like at the end of the day, no matter what happens, we will both rest easy knowing that we had done everything in our power to make sure that we were protecting our children and our future.
And our rights.
And that's really what motivates us. So completely different feeling from the 84th session to the 85th session.
Yes. We didn't know what we were doing in the 84th. I always like to make the joke, we didn't know what we were doing, but we did it well.
We did it well. We got the job done.
Yes. And in the 85th session, the one that just ended, we knew so much more, but there's still so much to learn. We certainly haven't arrived with our knowledge, and I'm excited about what's going to happen next time.
We are very, very excited to see where this movement goes. Any other session updates?
You know what? I think what's most exciting is that to see from the 84th, we were completely on the defense. We had these 17 bills that we were playing whack-a-mole with, and this time around we did have 10 bills that we were actively opposing, but there were 7 bills filed on our behalf that would have advanced informed consent, advanced medical privacy, and advanced vaccine choice for all Texans.
Let's clarify that was very intentional.
It was.
We got to the end of the 84th session, and we looked at each other and said, we're not going to just be on the defense next time. Mm-hmm. We're going to be on the offense. And we started working that day to craft legislation, to find champions for the cause, and to work with them. And we came in well prepared, and we're doing it again this time.
This is not about maintaining the status quo. This is about advancing parental rights, advancing the rights for all Texans to direct their own health care.
Absolutely.
Yes. I would just like to share a few other things from session. We did have a hearing for one of the bad bills, House Bill 2249. It would have infringed on your medical privacy, and it was very powerful to have 17 Texans for Vaccine Choice members come and testify against that bill. Everybody had a unique testimony. I mean, we attacked this thing from every way, and it was just one of those moments where you felt the energy, you felt like we were all in this together, and
we had our children there with us. We pretty much took up the entire back of the committee hearing room, and we had our older children testify.
Yes.
That was very exciting. I had my children there, and so they got to see firsthand what we were doing.
It's about engaging. And, it was the longest day, and nobody faltered. We all stayed and said, you know what? I have 3 minutes, and I'm going to stay and give my 3 minutes, because my 3 minutes matter. It was really amazing.
Everybody matters.
Yes.
Every voice matters. It was such a great, wonderful day. The momentum was so high. And again, I think every single member that joined us left that day saying, at the end of this day, I've done everything I possibly can in my power to preserve our rights.
Yes.
So we are very proud. With that said, I think we gave you a really good session update. We could talk all day about
I have so much more things I could share.
We have so many more stories and so many things you were talking about that were triggering memories with me. I was like, I want to talk about that. But we gave you a good update. We'll be doing more of these weekly chats about choice. I'm still getting our name down.
That's right.
I'm very excited we have a name because it's really fun.
It's the perfect name.
So thank you for that, and we will see you guys next week.